I've had the pleasure of teaching this amazing group for the last, since August. And I had a bunch of things prepared to say, but to be honest, there was just kind of one thing I actually, after writing a million things, wanted to say. And it's this: I have one word sitting on my clipboard for the school year, and it's awe. And I'm a firm believer that Joseph Campbell said it better than I can, so I'm just going to say it. He said awe is what moves us forward. And every day I'm in awe of what they are capable of, even if they don't know it, even if they might think I'm being mean saying not yet or it's okay. This is one of those kind of projects that really, with their sincerest effort, allows them to have a growth mindset. I've never finished a poem in my life. I look at things and I change words still. I've never, ever put a final, like it's done. So it's not in a critique kind of way, it's in a wow, what can you do? And so learning is wonder, and there is nothing that inspires a sense of awe like poetry and a real sharing of the soul. So I think of dance and watching their faces as they dance. If that didn't touch your soul, I don't know what will. Maybe it's some food. If that didn't touch your soul, hopefully hearing words that they wrote authentically from their heart. I can't think of anything more powerful or important than their hearts. So thank you for being here. We'll get started. Haven, you are up.
If you were a color, you'd be the still green of a lake at sunrise, with shafts of golden light illuminating the complex blue-greens of your depths. And that girl over there, she would be the subtlest lavender of a pre-sunset sky, calm and gentle. But she's been painted over. Her tears been covered up. Don't show your pain, they tell her. And her texture flattened. You need to look the same. So each morning she brushes her skin with someone else's idea of what she should be and braids lies into her hair. She leaves the house as someone else, just an accent now, an ornament, and she believes it. A shade of pink, too bright, unnatural, like oversweet candy or shattered glass, glittering and broken. The world just isn't big enough for 7 billion shades of personalities, I guess. So we sand and shape and smudge ourselves. We hide from our imperfections, change ourselves until we look perfect. She's pretty, she's broken, she's skinny, she's in pain. She's hurting herself, he's changing himself. They're turning themselves into someone else for you. What about them? Indigo, dandelion, cobalt? You stand out too much, they tell her. You're hurting my eyes. So she dyes herself unnatural colors. Maybe one day she'll see, we'll all see just how beautiful we are. Wild, messy, torn and chipped, creased with memories, colors bleeding together, ink-stained, imperfect, but beautiful all the same.
Who am I? Why does society tell us who to be? It's as if they have everything planned out for us and we don't even have a say.
Don't raise your hand in class, you're not smart enough.
Cover your shoulders, it's too distracting.
Why do we have to cover up? Why do we have to be a certain way? Society puts out a certain picture.
That everyone has to portray.
The color someone wears.
I like blue.
That's a boy's color. The religion someone believes in.
I'm an atheist.
How could you not believe in God? The place someone came from.
I came from Ireland.
Irish are drunks. I want to earn a living as a professional athlete.
You realize you won't make a cent compared to men. You realize the stands will be empty in your bank account too.
Men are stronger, men are smarter, men are faster.
Men are said to be everything a woman is not.
Women are weak.
And let me guess, you're probably thinking,
It's just another poem about women and equal rights. Who cares?
but if you really listen,
If you really listen to the thousands of other poems about the same exact thing, you would have made a change.
a change, that's all we need.
Did you know that the average amount of money a man in the MLB makes is over $4 million?
The average amount of money women make playing professional softball is $4,000.
Practically identical sports, just one huge difference. One is women.
One is men.
Why should I have to sacrifice my passion just because I'm a woman?
I want to be heard, really heard. I want them to listen to me.
They're never going to hear you. They're never going to care about what you say.
What
you say is irrelevant. What you say is wrong. Just don't speak at all.
Even when I try to speak up,
You shattered the glass wall inside of me,
where my confidence lies.
and all my convictions waste away. Well, you got what you wanted. You showed me who I really am, a weak, sensitive girl, and that's all I can be. I know now. Wait, do I? You've convinced me
that I'm stupid,
that I'm dumb.
that all I can do is sit there and look pretty. Why do we wear makeup?
Do I not look good enough?
Am I not pretty enough?
lipstick,
eyeshadow,
mascara,
concealer,
hidden behind the layers of disguise.
are imperfections that weigh me down.
the imperfections that consume me whole.
That's why we don't take off the
The
disguise.
disguise we hide behind,
In this world, nobody knows who they are.
because we are each pressured to be someone we're not.
That's when the question comes to mind, who am I?
Ding. I hear a noise. It's almost too familiar. I pick it up instinctively and have the UV light hit my face. It's a tweet from Mr. President, smacking our country in the face. He's done well for the economy if you give him any credit. He opens jobs, but our country's closed, so go back home and if you get caught, you'll be disposed. Ding. I see the notification bar and everything I struggle to understand appears. It's CNN reporting the news, Mr. President again continuing to refuse to testify for an impeachment trial he claims is fake. So what's so wrong with telling us you didn't even make a mistake? The truth. A made-up word. A placebo, if you will. But at least a placebo tells what's right and what's not real. Our president takes a different approach to the almighty powerful word. He thinks it means to lie and cheat, so now whenever I hear him speak, I reverse what he's saying, and finally America will see what speech he truly means to speak. Is this the man we elected? Is this the man we like? The man we chose keeps making bows and walling up the whole wide world, so can someone please who really knows, somebody who can stay composed? Can someone sane and smart and nice lead our country and maybe think twice before we get to an endless fight? Can we please get someone who will make things right? A gun in the hand of a teen going mad is a common thing, and it's making me sad. Because who do I turn to when our country's breaking up? The head honcho in charge? What if he's not enough? We need from our country a positive conclusion. What I always seem to get is, no collusion, no collusion. He told a 16-year-old girl fighting for climate change to work on her anger management. The Time Person of the Year, a person without fear, who always brings a tear to anyone that will hear. But no, what does he say? Chill, Greta, chill. I'm not going to say some cliche statement about how we'll rise up and win, but what we can make sure to do and support is not to elect him again. I try to understand how he gathers his minions, but everything he says contradicts his opinions. Because when we're your age and our country's enraged and what we have to say doesn't matter today, because now I'm on stage and you're hearing my rage, it's time for you to make the change, so don't disengage or forget on the day that you have to say in my life.
I've been told to only speak when spoken to, no one likes a chatty girl. I've been told to speak up, share my mind, quiet goals are boring. I have something important to say. I raise my hand, but I talk too much. The teacher ignores me and calls me the quiet person instead. I know the answer, but as I begin to raise my hand, my stomach grows and the voice in my head tells me it's not worth it. No one cares about what I have to say. I've been told I talk too much. You don't think I know that? The urge to share my mind pushes the words right out of my mouth. Why wait for someone to tell me something I already know? I've been told I shouldn't keep it bottled up. It's not that hard to talk, but the way I see it, the more I talk, the more I open to judgment, the more people I meet leave me in the end. I'm not going to silence myself. I have important things to say. Just listen for a second. I'm going to talk about all the people dying every day because they don't have access to clean water. I want to talk about how it feels to watch a sunset over a city with someone you love. I want to talk about all the people wasting their lives worrying about what other people think. I want to talk about how the waves sound when nobody's watching. Don't call on me, don't call on me, don't call on me. Did you know, did you know, did you know? Did you know, did you know, did you know? Ignore me, let me listen, pay attention, let me speak.
I don't want to write something that's serious. I want to write something that makes people smile, something that's fun and mysterious. I want to write something that rhymes, something that's funny, something that's short, not about war and crime. They say this world is dying from global warming and pollution. They tell me the problem, but they don't give me the solution. There's too many people and not enough food. The human race is practically screwed. The ice caps are melting, the forests are burning. When we fix a problem, more start overturning. I want to write something that gives people hope, nothing that convinces them to go home and mope. With all this unhappy stuff in our lives, how can we learn to grow and thrive? Everyone says this world is going to hell. Well, I actually think it's doing rather well. People are starting to care and fight back, instead of just shrugging and turning their back. The truth is that the world is not all dark and blue. There are so many things good about it too.
What is the meaning of life? What is the sky? Why is it blue? Why are humans finding ways not to be true to themselves? Why are we all finding for ways to get out of the 9 circles of hell? As if to Tartarus, they already fell. As we run, we revolve like Sherlock Holmes to solve, but our whole meaning dissolves as we go through the solve, which passes us down. What is the meaning of life? What is the sky? Why is it blue?
Why is it we're learning ways not to be our you, not to be truthfully true, not to be fully free, not to be the person you have always wanted to be, but the person they want you to grow up and breathe in their lungs and be cool and be young?
What is the meaning of life? What is the sky? Why is it blue? Why is the grass green? Why have my eyes lost their glittering sheen they had when I was a little kid and I had so much glee? And why are people acting like glee is a thing you see on your flat screen TV when it's a thing you could actually be? What is the meaning of life? What is the sky? Why is it blue?
Why is it we're told to speak loud, to be proud? When we do, we are named a fool. We become uncool. We are pulled
hold out in this to give our hands an unbound fist. As we walk, we don't talk. We think about when we're innocent, and our lives are magnificent.
What is the meaning of life? What is the sky? Why is it blue? Tomorrow day, I know what they say. Their Marcus is far too dark to make a mark. Like Everest is steep, this poem is deep. As people sit in the crowd, they think they're bursting their eardrums, speaking too loud. They scroll up and down like the Grinch with a frown as they stare at their screens. They are fighting like dogs just to be seen. What is the meaning of life? What is the sky? And why is it blue?
I am odd, I am new. I wonder if you are too. I see too many people frail away, but tomorrow the beginning starts a new day. Although tonight fades away, I know I am still thinking about you. I am odd, I am new. I pretend you feel it too. Cast above the hilltops, I shout your name. I wonder if you do the same, but at the end of the day, I know we all feel blue. I am odd, I am new. You tell me that you feel it too, but I think that it's up to you. I know that you don't believe in me, so I will just let you be. Because after all, I know you couldn't feel the feeling true. I am odd, I am new. I understand now that you are too. Your reflection shows the stars align. Will the day come when you'll be mine? But suddenly that dream fades away as I realize you may not feel the same. I am odd, I am new.
The 5 steps to living a life.
1. Pay attention. What comes just might leave you in the blink of an eye, so make sure not to miss all the wonders and highs. I remember waking up at my grandma's house with dogs licking my face and the smell of fresh pancakes wafting through the air. I saw the rain pit-pattering across the street and felt my excitement building. I went outside with my little green rain boots and splashed in the puddles for hours on end. I wish I could have held on to that childlike innocence.
2. So you thought it was easy, now you know. All the twists and turns, you can't face them alone. You need someone who will show up for you, no questions asked, no excuses too. I remember a time when my friend showed up for me when everyone else put me down. The feeling it gave me that someone really cared. When the world tore me down, she built me back up and put me back together piece by piece.
Now that brings me to 3, and what you will see is that life is not all light and fun. This is hard to hear, but the pain and fear is what brings us together as one. I remember a time when houses were crushed, there was mud in the streets, and devastation in the air. But through all the destruction and horror, people came together as one. Whether it's praying for each other or opening up once closed doors to strangers, this togetherness brought us closer in the darkest of hours.
And at 4 we will say that maybe one day through this clouded world you will see
That without knowing pain and life's on the strain, you will always struggle to feel free.
Now as we move on to 5, and from what we've derived, I'll leave you with this just to think on.
Live just for today, leave tomorrow alone, and as for yesterday, just let it go.
Whether you were surfing a wave or climbing a mountain, there's just no time like the present.
If you've listened quite closely to all we've had to say,
You'd hear the world's call telling you to find your way.
Appreciate the little things because life's an endless flow.
and in the end you'll realize, to ride the wave, you have to
Surrender and let go. To laugh at each moment, to curse the unfairness.
To make the tears that wet your cheeks reminders that no one experiences only drought.
To love love itself.
To fear.
To overcome.
To show up.
To push forward through struggle and pain.
To show life that you'll not let it down.
That you'll be strong and make it proud.
And when life kicks you to the ground, to get up and show her that you will not be pushed around.
I dream of the day that I'm unstoppable, the day that nothing fails me, with a sunrise and sunset of complete and utter beauty. I dream of the day where I can openly be myself, without anything to be afraid of. The day when humans can finally understand that harsh words won't do us any good. I dream of the day that is absent of death, no school shootings in the headlines, or new news of a deadly virus killing thousands of people. The day that I see the true light of the world shining on all. I dream of the day where I don't have to struggle to be a different person and come home after a hard day, worrying about what I could have done better. I dream of the day that I finally get a perfect night of sleep with nothing on my mind and wake up feeling like a breeze in the summer air. I dream of the day that we all live in harmony with an eternal feeling of joy and happiness. I hope that this oasis will become my everlasting reality. I want to help solve these issues, but in the meantime, I would rather dream.
Should I speak or stay silent? I get told to shut up, that I'm annoying, that my opinion doesn't matter. What I say is irrelevant, stupid, pointless. It makes me feel unwanted, like I am the last take for dodgeball. Maybe I should stay silent and start swallowing and suffocating all my words.
People say I'm too quiet, never put effort into a conversation. They don't know that effort for me is like running on a mile of hot coals. Should I speak? But then people will judge my thoughts and emotions.
I try to speak, but you don't let me. You act like my voice is nails on a chalkboard, which makes me feel trapped, caged. Do you know what that feels like? Do you?
I put up a wall, a dam, starting to slowly crack, and each time criticism knocks on my door, it just seals the crack more and more each time. So I stay quiet, but I can't stay quiet forever. I'll get over my fears someday, won't I?
But I don't want to stay silent anymore. My silence has become increasingly oppressive. I want to use my voice to talk about the beauty of the ocean and the mystery it has deep down. To talk about love, anything that matters.
The times have changed, and I can't let those things get to me anymore. Each time I'm told I'm too quiet, it expands the crack. My wall has fallen, the water is out, there's no more dam, the barrier is gone. I'm free, and each line of harassment is worthless to me.
Always being told when to speak.
Always being told what to say.
Should I speak or stay silent?
My poem is called We Will Fly. When I was 4 and a half, I rode my shiny pink bike. My mom got diagnosed. I strolled into preschool with bows in my hair. She walked into the doctor's office, afraid. I went over in my new dress to hug my friend. She went home in a hospital gown. I learned 2 + 2 = 4. She learned about statistics, hospital bills, and death rates. I raced up and down the playground, climbing up the slide. She could make the 5 feet from her bed to her bathroom. I got a haircut. My red curls bouncing as I danced with the feeling of pure joy. My mom got a double mastectomy. Scars, toy cars, blades, French braids, distresses, dresses. Nature's first green is gold, they say. Her heart is true to hold. The 4 became 14, and so it went on. But scars never leave you. They will always be present. Jagged, painful, gaping, they weigh her down. But sometimes the heaviest things you carry with you are what give you the courage to spread your wings. And my mother? She's not alone. She has her daughter. We will fly.
Free. In and out without the simplest thought of the day when that was stopped. Listen, shots fired. The sound of a bullet leaving the steel frame of a gun as it slowly claims its last victim. The one who was bold enough to take these lives dead. And yet again, death gains another soul. The sound of ambulance sirens rushes through the streets and floods the ears of those who are yet to see travesty, and the families of those who will not see tomorrow. A mother and a brother and a sister scream as every last ounce of happiness leaves their body, tears rushing, throats thickening, and faces going pale, as a police officer informs the family of a deceased loved one. And yet here I am, a letter to an angel. I can't quite wrap my head around the fact that you're gone, and even though I read the newspaper headline, 10+ injured in bar shooting with your picture on the front cover, and even though your face is on every news channel I flip to, it's still surreal. I certainly don't want to live my life without you. I never got to say a final goodbye, I never got to say I'll miss you, and I sure as hell never got to say a final I love you. Please talk to me. I close my eyes and I hope with an empty heart that you will return to me once more. And if I only had 5 more minutes on the day that you died, I would have held you a little bit tighter. I would not have let you go. I would have said I love you one more time. But now I feel you slipping away from my grasp into the great abyss of the unknown. So for now, all I can do is recall every last black and white memory and cherish the twinkle in your eye that only showed itself when happiness gave you the greatest hug. And although life is just a race against the hourglass, yours ran out too fast. So I will carry the memories that will always bring a smile, and the fact that you're not here still brings me pain. I will remember you until we meet again. Shadows settle on the world you left behind from the very start to the finish line. You're still breathing. You're the lucky ones, because some had to hold their breath and hope for the best. But life was cruel and pointed a gun to their head. So until we meet again.
Change will never change. I used to love other things and do it every day. Now I see I don't. Everyone changes and gets a new interest. Now I like something else. It has become a huge part of my life. I am afraid that could change, but if it's different from now, that's okay. We might not be friends anymore. Maybe I don't like what you like, maybe you don't like what I'm into. A year ago you said you wanted to be this, now you want to be that. Everything is changing. Change will never change.
My voice is flatlining on an electronic screen I stare at all day.
I can't. I literally cannot share emotion or metaphor.
Actually, what is the point of metaphor? I don't see it fit to use words that mean something else to hide behind what I want to say. The door is blue. Or am I?
They tell me to be silent. First up on the Founding Fathers list was the freedom of speech.
But now, when I try my hardest to speak up and share my emotions, I am silenced.
So right now, I'm trying my hardest to be silent, but I'm told to speak up. Use your lungs, they say.
Voiceless, incapable, tongue-tied, I don't know what we are.
We are 14-year-old boys. Taught by society to never cry,
To man up.
be quiet.
Nobody cares.
Did I ask?
Now, I have a grade on how well I can rhyme my words, thoughts, and feelings.
But I'm criticized by my peers for everything I say.
Everything I do. Get picked last for kickball.
Criticism. Don't have time to play video games?
Criticism. It seems like all we know to do is judge and hate and never once be soft because that is all we've ever learned. I don't want to think.
I can't think. We never use an ounce of our breath, a second of our time, to say something positive.
Maybe we should. Ben, you were so kind to everybody you meet.
Thank you. When you walk into a room, positivity floods the area.
Tick, tock, tick, tock. Timer set from hours of clenched fists and teeth, wrong answers and dirty looks. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Do you have enough time to get away from it? To avoid incurring the wrath of this unreasonable being named Olivia having a bad day? Tick, tock, tick, tock. What have I done to deserve their derision? Yeah, I'm not as pretty as they are. I am not as smart as they are. I don't get hundreds on science tests, but should that really determine my worth? Apparently it does. I'm not as good a singer, I'm not as good an actress. It's only natural that somebody else should get the part, so why do I feel like I am going to explode? Tick, tock, tick, tock. How long do I have before I start making bigger mistakes, getting less thin, getting less pretty? And why am I thinking about this? It shouldn't matter, but it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Because I try my hardest, and I still fail. And people tell you to reach for the stars, but I can't even see the stars through the walls of my prison made from fuses. Tick, tock, tick, tock. I'm punchy hitty. I tried to leave that at my old school to start over as a newer, better, smarter, more polite individual at middle school. I tried to take off that name tag, but it's more of a tattoo. On my birthday, at the end of 7th grade, my dad asked my friends to share a word that they thought described me because he heard somebody else do it at a party we kind of crashed and he liked it. And there were 5 people there, and 4 of them said punchy hitty, so I guess I can't change. Because I am me, and I am not enough. Tick, tock. I am a time bomb, and I'm going to go.
I remember growing up. I remember when I was 5, playing with Legos all day. I remember when I was 10. I discovered my love for surfing. I remember my mom would read me bedtime stories every night before tucking me into bed, just longing for the next day to begin. I remember decorating the Christmas tree with family, with a warm cup of hot cocoa and the smell of pines wafting through the house. I remember the moments of pure joy and laughter as I darted through the neighborhood, free as the wind. I remember the first time I was able to appreciate the sun setting over the ocean like the glow of a firefly in the dark. I cannot remember my life without the ocean as an everlasting companion. I long to remember what it felt like without the constant worry of appearance, grades, friends, reputation, but to be free without these burdens hanging over my head like a dark rain cloud. I remember the gloomy, rain-filled days to the days alive with sunshine. 10 years from now, I want to remember looking up at the twinkling stars, sitting around a campfire surrounded by lifelong friends. 20 years from now, I want to remember the sun beginning to sink into the horizon as I watch it in the ocean as it becomes overtaken with a bright orange glow. I remember growing up.
How will we survive? Dear Kevin Koala, yesterday, the water was clear and the fish were thriving. Today, the murky waters hold no fish, but our friends are dying. Our home is getting smaller and smaller, while the days are getting hotter and hotter. Tomorrow, mountains of trash blowing into the sea, and soon enough we will all have to flee. How will we survive?
Dear Patrick the Penguin, yesterday, the air is clean and the sky is clear. Today, the sky is full of smoke that's gray, the fire is closer and we have to run away. Hot smoky air burns my lungs. There is no food, we just have crumbs. There is no water to quench our tongue. How will we survive? Dear world,
Remember the clear skies and the clean air.
Remember the glistening water cascading down the mountains of ice.
Remember the soft purple clouds in the sky.
Remember the branches that would open you with welcoming arms.
Remember the colorful birds that sang you a song.
Now take a look at our world. Take a deep breath in. What do you see? I see our world dying. Do you agree?
My poems say nothing in specific. My mind keeps going, and all I can say is my poem is who I am, and that is that. Constrained thought, preoccupied with the putrid smell of being discarded, full of desolate lives exemplifying the constraints. Who are you is all I'm wondering. Congratulations and interpretations of salvation only leave room for the cold, wet floor. Fixation on the questions that shouldn't have to be asked. It's all going to get better in a few years. Came from sown lips. The putrid soil where half my roots went to die is where only rejection resides. The sickening soil of imperfect effort. Quiet sedation of the spotless mind echoes beneath the rusty leather couches. Alone in my room contemplating the emptiness while faces hid behind walls. Wailing for me to move onward and onward. Listen closely for the truth from hearts with open love and open sight.
Standards are set by the people around us. We constantly ask ourselves, am I good enough?
Am I smart enough?
Am I doing this right?
I'm trying my best. His best is better.
I wonder if I'm good enough for this school. The people around me are smarter.
She got a better score on her test. It figures. She's smarter, right?
My memory is bad.
My handwriting sucks.
I blurred out in class.
I don't participate.
I'm not paying attention.
Do my teachers hate me?
I try to be perfect, but for who?
Who am I trying to impress? My friends? My family? I'm trying my hardest to be enough.
I'm told not to think poorly of myself.
I'm told not to call myself dumb.
I'm told I can improve. I can't focus.
I daydream.
I stare at my balls.
I chew on my sleeves.
I crack my fingers.
I wander the halls.
I play with my rings.
I click my pens. As soon as I sit down in the car, I'm reminded of my unimpressive grade.
Not even at home am I safe from the pressure of school.
I'm constantly reminded I'm not good enough.
But it's always the people I love reminding me.
But it's always the people who care about me reminding me. How do I meet expectations if all I can think about is being better?
How can I leave this fixed mindset?
How do I meet someone else's standards?
How can I live in a world where I'll never be perfect?
I used to be anxiously afraid. I was so afraid of myself, I would walk in the dark to hide from my shadow. Now, I like to walk barefoot through fields of flowers, but yet I'm still afraid I might trip. I try to avoid mirrors, but I can't close my eyes fast enough. The reflection shows me a picture of someone I don't want to see. I'm afraid of her. Why am I scared of everything? I can't board planes. I see them every day, soar ever-so through the sky, but I can't get the image of it crashing out of my head. I watch it sink to the depths of the ocean, never to be seen again, and I still wonder what is lurking below us. But that's not the scariest thing. Who knows what life is hiding out on foreign planets that we don't even know exist? With all these questions drowning my head, I'm gasping for the next breath of air. The next breath might make the load a little lighter, a little easier. But it never takes the weight off my shoulders that I might not wake up to see tomorrow. I might forever be rapidly plunging into a dream after a dream. I want to wake up because the thought of death kills me. But I realize that maybe I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living, and I want to live.
There is a lot hidden beneath the surface,
We may seem shy to you.
but it just takes some time for us to open up to you.
Once we do, you'll realize how different we are.
For example, she is awesome at science.
And she's amazing at Spanish.
She loves to play the violin.
And she loves to do karate.
We may seem like we've known each other forever,
But we're just really close.
we've shared lots of memories.
Like the time our tin zipper broke on a high bob.
And she had to cover the opening of her towel so we didn't get soaked. Our bond will never break. It's as strong as super glue. She is the person who can make you laugh whether you're happy or sad.
And she is the person who you can come to for honest advice.
When we first met each other,
There were lots of awkward conversations.
what's your favorite color?
What's your favorite animal?
Now we can practically finish each other's
Sentences. She's like a hummingbird who flutters through the air.
And she's like a cheetah that never gets tired of running.
I like hot weather.
And I like cold weather. We may be opposites, but we go together like peanut butter and jelly. Once you get to know us, you'll realize that
We're like peacocks, starting small but then revealing our feathers.
beneath the surface there's more than you think.
Some say don't talk unless you're spoken to, but if the world worked like that, we would all be silent. If we were all silent, we wouldn't speak, and if we don't speak, we would have to find another way to communicate, but we would know ourselves like no other because we wouldn't be able to escape. We would be stuck in our thoughts that we don't want to answer. There would be no music. Our life would be like a silent movie, fun, but not quite full. So say what you want to say while you can, because you can, and that should be enough. Use your voice to paint the world your mind sees. Your imagination is your canvas. Coat the oceans with shades of blue and brush the greens over the trees and grass. Breathe your voice into the air like the wind calling your name. You see the reflection of the sky in a tiny puddle that the clouds have left for you to notice in the morning. These are the clouds that the water pours out of, raining down on you, washing the residue of melancholy away. You notice that the rain overflows an empty pot like your thoughts overflowing your mind. So much to write down, yet not enough to fill a page. Fill the pages of your life with color and kindness because you can, and that should be enough.
Share. We all have something to share, no matter who, what, when, where, or why. But no matter what happens, we hide behind something else. We all play hide and seek with the things that are important to us, just because we can't trust anyone enough not to be afraid of us for who we are. We are afraid of people who don't think like us, people who don't look like us, people who don't love like us, people who don't work like us. We are afraid just because we can't share. We don't know why to do the things we do. Unless we share what we do, we will never be able to accept each other. We are afraid because they are different, but aren't we all? We are even too afraid to share with the people closest to us because we are afraid of having them abandon us. But if they abandon us for who we are, then they shouldn't be close to us. But we don't share. We hide. We hide behind friends, who hide behind friends, who hide behind us. And if one of us shared, then the others would too. But no one will be first. No one has trust, or at least not enough to share. But isn't that what friends do for each other? We all have something different to share, so why shouldn't we?
Windows, they're beautiful, but honestly, what is the point? No one looks through them. Why would people live like this?
It's crazy.
It's insane. We never stop to look at the simple things in life.
Look at the birds gliding in the sky.
We never stop to look through the windows, but instead are blinded by the curtains.
We don't have much time to
Stop!
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
When will we stop?
The time it takes to glance at something beautiful
Is the time it could take to end your life. When will we
glance?
glance?
When our world is reduced to ash, our planet is a ticking time bomb and it's about
Ready to explode.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
When will we stop? If we're not going to stop the destruction.
Why don't we at least enjoy our paradise? After school, we stuff our day with activities. Piano,
dance, volleyball, scrolling through Instagram every free second.
Stuff your face with food, cry yourself to sleep, repeat.
For how long can we uphold this cycle?
For how long can we live in a
constant rush?
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
When will we stop?
We don't stop. But we do just stare aimlessly at our phones, swiping
again and again and again. Teens average 7 hours.
22 minutes
of screen time a day. Adults average even more. Everyone is a victim.
We never stop, but we do. We stop to stare into people's lives, analyze, compare, and contrast.
Nothing is private anymore. All change is saved and drive. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. When will we stop? Blank. My mind is blank. Pages upon pages with nothing to read. It pulls me in and it drags me around like a puppet on a string. It doesn't let me decide what to do or what to be. If I had a pen, I would write. But then again, what do I have to say? I don't know. I don't know anything. Because my hues of blue and red are being scraped away, and I'm afraid of what's underneath. The book that I have told myself I am the author of has been stripped of its younger self, with pictures and a carefree child living inside. This new, older book is encased in a facade of wisdom, taunting me as if I am nothing to have a story. Yet it still begs for opportunity, for something worth noting, so that I too can be the main character. I don't have a say against it because it won't let me. I want to fly, but gravity pushes me down. Why can't I defy it? Because I am it. I am my own enemy, the source of all my pain, the source of everything I seek to break down. I can't win a war against myself. Blank. My mind is blank. My world is blank, and I am searching for a pen.
What do you want from me?
Am I as pretty as her, as smart as him?
I wish things were different,
but instead we're stuck.
Being told that no matter what we are not capable of some of the opposite gender.
After all,
I'm just a girl.
We work harder to get to the same place, yet even when we prove our capability,
You're still not good enough to live in a society where it's not the smartest person that gets a job,
it's the whitest.
the most American. So tell me, why is it that he makes $1 times 78 cents?
every time I anticipate stepping on the court, I can't help but wonder, will you miss another shot? Will coach take you up? Society makes us think just because we're girls, we aren't as athletic, capable. And every time I feel like I'm good enough, I just get torn down again like an abandoned building. Whether it's another critique from my coach, another game lost, another shot missed, I'm never enough.
LeBron James.
One of the greats of basketball.
One more.
One of the greats of basketball. She gets paid $79,000 a year. He gets paid $8 million.
Why do you sexualize my body? Why am I not good enough for your boys' club? Why do you expect less of me yet hold me to a higher standard? The expectation that you place upon my shoulders is a boulder I carry every day. It's a crippling fear of getting lost in the world, telling me that my intelligence is measured by my gender, my appearance, my economic advantages. I'm judged on superficial things I cannot control, not me. Do you even see me? And I know that I'm lucky. Yet even though I have all of these things, I am still not good enough just because I was born without a...
Confidence is the goal, the emerald city at the end of the yellow brick road. At every step I take, there's always another hill, another imperfection I see to find like a game trying to seek that I just can't lose.
Why should I be judged on something out of my control?
It's not my fault I was born the way I am, but it's my responsibility to change myself to figure a major perfection. It's always the other thing I should be trying to achieve. I'm too skinny, then too fat, too smart, then too dumb, trying too hard, then not trying hard enough. Why is my worth defined by the amount of inches on my waist? Why is my beauty measured by a size turn?
Everyone says confidence is key, but how am I supposed to be confident if I'm constantly being told you aren't pretty,
Smart, interesting,
skinny,
hardworking, feminine,
intelligent, perfect enough?
I worry a lot. When things get easier, can time go faster, will everything please stop? To take time to have no worries and only be your thoughts.
Do you worry about time? Will I open my eyes tomorrow while I see the ocean at sunrise? Are you scared of the thought?
If time stops, I hear the birds chirping, I feel weight lifting off my shoulders. I look at the wind rushing the trees, I smell love like happiness, and I can taste my inspiration.
Will I hug my family and play with my dogs? Will I be good enough to make you proud? Or why worry? What will scaring yourself do? Make you happier? Change your future? You'll be living in a thought that can only hurt.
When time unpauses, I breathe in reality. I can't hear the birds over the construction. The feeling of weight on my shoulders is again letting me down. I look at the cars driving by, I smell the hate and the fear, and I taste the cracky stew.
Do you worry about time? Death is our greatest teacher. Why waste time scared when you have a life right in front of you? Everything is a chance. Your heads, your tails. You don't decide which one you end up with. You think sleeping is given, but waking up again isn't. Nothing is given. Nothing is free. No second chances. Do you worry about dying?
I worry what will stop, and I worry what will continue. Our lives are filled with endless worries, and our lives are filled with endless joys. We can choose to focus on one. The way we go through our lives is our choice, and we choose joy.
I wish I was the ocean. The waves smoothly crash on the shore make a pleasant sound as they come and go. Notice how others usually calm near its surface. Notice how the waves form shapes and sizes before they crash. Notice how the surfers form friendships and converse with each other. I wish I was the ocean. Notice how others don't judge each other based on what they do or the way they act. Notice how they're all peaceful, calm, and joyful around each other. Let those feelings sink into you to stay, and as you go throughout your life, keep those feelings with you to spread them to others. I wish I was the ocean.
I remember when I was 5. I remember when I was carefree. I remember when I worried. I remember when I was 5, a full hand now, always wondering, always observing, playing in the street with friends, having fun with my family who had time for me. I remember when I was carefree, when I had not a single bias, able to see the world from a completely different lens, a lens that was not fogged by social expectations, distractions of today's society. Instead, now growing up, my view of the world changing to the confining attributes of what is considered normal.
I remember worrying when I was 6, worrying about the simple things, about leaving the loving hands of my mom every day before school, about the monster under my bed that would catch me if I got too close, about the questions I have of the world that are spinning in my head, and about the anxiety that would build when talking to the intimidating adults around me.
I remember when I was 6. Now I have a brother who's stealing attention that I had before and that I needed. I asked my parents, can you play, but not receiving an answer, as I sit in my room watching time flee by me, as I see that things are changing. I remember all of my family's moves, each one being more difficult than the last. Growing up, everyone developing favoritism, biases, first impressions becoming vitally important. I remember being nervous, hiding behind my parents' legs when I was 5, which later evolved
to the anxious feelings that we all know so well, leaving comfort, stability, and friendships. But I had always known to go somewhere new, starting over.
I remember worrying when I was 9, worrying about things that were different, how people were now being judged on appearances and interests. I remember worrying about the new responsibilities and expectations I was given, and about the decisions I am now faced with. Will I do what's right? What if I mess up? How come my parents can't make those decisions for me?
I remember when I was 12, not needing my family as much, making my own decisions, going to different schools and making new friends, and always knowing that I had a place to call home.
I remember when I had to leave my old friends, wishing they could come alongside me. Many first days of school, nervousness washing over me like a wave in the ocean. But I remember when I made new friends. I remember all the times that they supported me and I supported them, in times of joy and triumph, distress and hopelessness, in need of companionship.
I remember worrying when I was 12, worrying about the precious time of day. Will I have time to do homework, time to be with friends, or time to think? What if I run out of time? What would I do? But now, I remember not worrying about those things, that there's no need to worry when all it does is pull you down. Instead, without all the worries, I remember feeling clear of the worries and full with a new mindset. I remember the
playfulness,
friendships,
change. I remember when.
This poem is called Socialist Propaganda, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I watch people pass every day. They have no emotion. I witness them become shells, lifeless figures moving because it's what they have always done. They give up and accept to become drones, hours ticking by until they can fill the void with pleasant nothings. They have lost their faces, and everything spoken is shoved through a filter. Nothing true except that they have their filters. They cannot be themselves without losing their privilege of being a slave for the upper class. Those who preach equality will spit on you when you ask to live better, to be able to tend to your basic needs by only working yourself to death, the American way. You are the drone, proletariat, worker bee. You are what we tell you. This is the equality that you work for, the bourgeois tells you. And somehow, somewhere between the beginning and the beginning of the end, you believe them. And in doing so, become another empty face. Please don't leave me at the end of this.
Sometimes I go to the movies. It's that simple. But all simplicity seems to jump out the window when I step outside my door and I'm faced with a world divisible by two, with no room for those who fit in between. We are given two options, male and female, but I always seem to fit inside that and percent. Why am I any different? When I was 11 years old, I was taken from my home by two strangers who bound my wrists to my sides with ropes made of the blood I had drawn from my own skin, and still, I am no different. When I was in 4th grade, I asked my mom why we were Jewish. Watching all of my friends prepare for Christmas with their pretty lights and their jingle bells, and I asked, Mom, why can't we celebrate Christmas? I don't understand. And in Hebrew, she replied, Savlanu, be patient, and learn to wear that yellow star like a badge of honor. I'm a minority, and still, I am no different. I am done being different, because who I am is not defined by the white of my skin or the God I believe in. I am not defined by the size of my waist or who I decide to love. I am human, and I am no different.
But the winners of a rigged game should not get to write the rules. I didn't choose to be set upon this golden throne of wealth, education, resources, and choices.
Atop this throne, my job is not stomp around on the people placed beneath me, but instead I am learning to be grateful for my opportunities and hope in this game called life.
But only being grateful doesn't seem like enough.
I feel a painfully large mountain of responsibilities on my shoulders to change the world for the better.
I don't know how to navigate my own life while simultaneously making a positive impact in the world.
But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm on the road to get there.
However, it's so painstakingly hard to look back on the less fortunate, struggling to start the engines of their lives. But the winners of a rigged game should not get to write the rules.
As a kid, I dreamed I would be an astronaut.
But so many people don't have the opportunity to get out of a 9-to-5 job, only to barely provide enough for their families.
Those people will not get to choose if they live a life full of adventure, travel the world, or chase their dreams.
But instead, they'll break their backs in the very industries that are keeping them oppressed. But the winners of a rigged game should not get to write the rules. As a kid, I didn't want to go to school.
But my mom always told me I was fortunate to be able to get an education.
Only now do I realize what she meant.
760 million people in the world. world are uneducated and won't be able to get a job that will pay their bills.
760 million people that will go home hungry.
760 million people that will return home to their mournful faces of their children.
760 million people that will never realize their full potential.
With my whole life in front of me.
I know that there is so much hate to be eliminated.
So much potential for positive change in the world.
So many lives to change. So much opportunity to rewrite the rules.
I worry about school. The feeling of being behind makes me feel like I'm sinking in quicksand. Every assignment pulls me in deeper. I worry about taking tests. What if I fail? I'll be made fun of. Friends will tell me I'm dumb, but the feeling of my best not being enough tears my soul. I worry about friends. Am I pretty, smart, cool? Am I a good friend? What if everyone hates me? The feeling of being alone at lunch could make anyone feel unworthy. I worry about animals. Will people still kill miners for their horns? Material things are not nearly as important as living beings. What if elephants go extinct because we're not giving the care that's needed? Why do people find joy in hurting animals? They can't even stand up for themselves. Someone needs to tell them it's not right, but no one will listen.
I look inside you when I fear I have lost myself.
And in your eyes I remember what it is to be whole. When I am beaten and bloodied by the fists of a world at odds with itself, I retreat into you and find solace in the depths of a beautiful mind.
Where you are pure,
I am tainted, and where I find authenticity in you, I see only insincerity in me.
Let me bathe in that and watch as I wash away
The dirt of a dissatisfied soul in cursive lines.
and blotted ink.
Write me letters of jealousy and triumph, of candles and forest
For
fires.
see in everything you hold dear. For as time teaches me the value of knowing you, and admiration becomes interwoven in the simple sounds of a song in your soul. I am reminded of how I should thank the hues of every summertime sunset for the way they describe the serenity and the lines.
Maybe I can discuss with the ocean breeze what exactly it is about your eyes that provides the same sensation as lying in the grass for hours. For hand in hand with that crystal day's rests of flame, a gusting forest fire, bittersweet passions, transforming each smile into nothing less than a miracle. I'll wait to the flames that they count that they've never met someone more alive.
I'll tell them of how.
At the sight of you, I find myself every time.
Just say your lines. It's that easy. You know what you should say, you know what you can say, so why not just say it? My anxiety hisses the question at me like a snake clasped tightly around my neck, controlling my every move. After being on this earth for 14 years, I've developed a script of things I can always plan on saying. The lines set up clear in my mind, always making sure I have something to say. Scenarios that I have yet to put into this script cause me to panic and go almost into a numb state, where all I do is agree and add meaningless commentary because I don't know what else to do. Yes-anding my way through life like the big improv scene that it is. But my brain still tells me, no, you should have said this, you missed your line. How could you mess up something so simple as a two-way conversation? These words screech in my mind like nails on a chalkboard, nails that have slowly been scraping away at my confidence over time. I can't win a battle against myself. After living on this earth, I seem to have developed the role of comic relief. I'm sure people think I have this role because I'm an optimistic attention seeker, when in reality I know I have this role because I know how it feels to be so low that I can feel the cold sand on my feet at the bottom of a sea of anxiety-ridden thoughts that weigh me down so heavily that I don't see a point in swimming up. I know how that feels, so I do what I can to make others laugh, to keep them just a little bit further away from that. These thoughts will never leave my mind, blowing up every what-if factor, changing it from the small dog I see on the street to the large man-eating wolf that could end my life in a second. And even after all this, my brain still tells me, just say your lines. It's that easy.
Why? Why are they better than me? Is it because I'm not as popular as him? Tell me!
Tell me why, the outside of my body. My height, my weight, my hair, and somehow in this day and age, still the color of my skin.
Why does that decide my job, my opportunity, my personality, or who I love?
I think I know why. I think you know too. Hate, the second most powerful four-letter word ever written. Why do people think she's weaker than me, just because she is she?
Why do you think he's better for the money in his pocket?
Why is every move we make judged by them? Every outfit judged by them?
Why do you think the way you do? Why is everything I do based on my skin color and my gender? Why do we bludgeon our own kind? Why war, not words?
Because they know, no matter how loud they speak, they fear they will not be heard. I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but it's because I shouldn't have to.
An entire life should not be decided by the body they're born into and the prejudice laid upon them. What's the point of a game where the first move decides the rest of it?
Except life isn't a game. Who decides?
They decide.
Who are they?
We don't know, yet we let them decide as if we did. So again, why? Why do you let them decide your fate?